Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on crypto. Let's dig into everything that I covered in the crypto minute. So the SEC has been stonewalling Congress. That's pretty stupid. The SEC has been taking it on the chin from the likes of JPMorgan and the SBA, and guess who's piling on now? The U.S. Chamber of Commerce. That's really, really big. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce is saying that they're causing regulatory chaos, that the SEC is causing regulatory chaos, and it's not by mistake. It's by design. Wow. That is huge. The list of reputable organizations that are going up against the SEC is growing larger and getting louder. What's next? Well, MetaMask partners with PayPal to offer services straight from the wallet. Buy, sell, hold. And I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, that's pretty big. However, let's not get it twisted. MetaMask has a lot of companies, a lot of payment providers that they do business with. Wire, Coinbase Pay, Transact. There are several, MoonPay. There are a lot of companies that are in bed with MetaMask. MetaMask is a very reliable wallet and actually is one of the, I don't get paid by them. So let's start there. So it happens to be a wallet that I actually use. All right. What's next? Binance. CZ, the CEO of Binance, obviously, is obviously a major shareholder of Binance US. He's the controlling shareholder, actually. What he's looking to do is remove that title of major shareholder and reduce his holdings in the company, in the U.S. company, which is separate. If that were to happen, what they're hoping is that there would be less regulatory scrutiny. I don't think so. I think it's a good move. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a great move. However, I don't think that's going to reduce regulatory scrutiny. I mean, you're talking about the SEC, and they're already going after. They've gone after Gemini. They've gone after Coinbase. They're going after Ripple. They're going after a lot of different big name companies. For what reason? There's only to one end, right? They want to stamp out crypto in the United States. That is the dream of Gary Gensler and his SEC. They're taking it on the chin, and they're taking it on the chin pretty damn hard. And I assume that it's going to get worse before it gets better for the SEC. And I don't think it's going to get better until Biden fires his little behind. And I don't think that's going to happen until Biden takes care of these other problems that are going on. So this guy's just going to run rampant. Although Biden can just say, hey, how about we get rid of Gensler and put in Hester in his place? That'd be a relatively quick move. Doesn't take a lot of work. It'd be a sound decision. Done. Move on. That would be what I would do. But I'm not the president, so just saying. JPMorgan, Jamie Dimon has come out and he's like, yo, banking is going to get worse for a little while. It's going to get worse. And what's worse is that I'm hoping regulators do not overreact. This is Jamie Dimon. He doesn't want the regulators to overreact and implement, a ton of new regulation, which is most likely going to happen. Now, this is on the heels of PacWest dropping another 20-something% yesterday. You all know that Jamie Dimon of JPMorgan picked up First Republic Bank. What I'm thinking about is what happens, right, if the banking industry continues its downward trend. I think Powell takes a pause, right? I think the FOMC doesn't move any rates because everything is going to be screwed right there. If the U.S. debt ceiling is not raised, that will do Powell's job. So my broad outlook is that, I think the banking space is going to take hits. Does it go away? Of course not. Stop it. But I think that's going to have a rippling effect across the world. And if that happens, I'm thinking that crypto is actually going to wind up on a higher level than it is now. And the reason why is because a lot of people are going to be thinking, where am I going to put my money? Where can I put my money where it's going to do, more work for me, grow my bag, grow my bag. So when I sit there and I think about this, I strongly consider, you know, the choices that people have to put their money. And banks are not really doing all that well. The big banks are fine. They're fine. I'm talking about the regional banks. I'm talking about those regional banks like a PacWest, right? There is a long list of regional banks that are actually doing fine, but could wind up still taking the hit just because of market strife. So I'm just sitting here and I'm saying to myself, so what would I do? Like I said, I like to have a certain amount of money in cash. That's usually, for me, that's usually a bank. I like to have a certain amount of money in crypto so I can, be able to maneuver it, get it to where I need it to be. I like, different holdings. I'm holding off on purchasing real estate because I think the real estate market is going to take another hit. And it's just too rich right now. It's still too rich. I think, as people start to feel the pain, that's when they're going to wake up and go, wow, I can't do this anymore. I need to get out of this house. If I had a huge bag of money, maybe I'll do something. But I think right now, is a good time to wait and then get in the market when everything kind of tanks and hits a bottom. I'm not trying to catch any falling knives. The crypto market is down. Stocks, a lot of stocks are down. Some are doing well, but a lot of stocks are down. And I'm just sitting back and I'm just saying, I can pause. It's not going to hurt me to pause for a moment. I still DCA. I still use dollar cost averaging and still take a certain amount of money and I still put it away so that, I have something for a rainy day. And remember, my structure is I've got dollar cost averaging going into crypto, going into certain investments. And a part of that strategy is putting money into my dry powder space, a space where I can actually get in on whatever transaction, pops up in front of me, whatever opportunity is there. But cash is going to be king for a little while. All right. I had a conversation with my kids last night and they were like, well, why would you do this? Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you pay off the bill? Because that way, you could save money. You don't have to pay so much in interest. It's because cash is king. During a recession, cash is king, period. So there are a couple of ways for me. Like I said, there are a couple of ways for me to be holding cash. I can be holding, crypto. I can be holding, fiat. I'm holding both. I don't want to do anything with that cash until we all figure it out. That's where my head is at, right? You have Cantor Fitzgerald saying, agreeing with me and saying institutional investors have a huge interest in crypto, a huge interest, and it's growing. So everything that's going on with regulators right now with regard to crypto, I'm sitting back and I'm kind of going, how long is that going to last? That crescendo is building and it's getting louder and louder and louder. So right now I'm just kind of like, well, keep DCAing. Don't try to catch a falling knife and jump in real hard because, I was expecting things to bounce back. And guess what? We're in the 26s. What is it? 26.4 and change? Ooh. Now, am I worried? Again, I have people like, oh, but you see crypto, it's dropping. Okay, but a few months ago, we were in the teens. This year, we were in the teens. And you're crying about just a couple of $1,000s? You serious? To me, it's an opportunity. It's all just an opportunity. But I pay attention to those opportunities and when the best time is to get in. So I'm waiting for a bottom to establish itself. And we'll see what happens then. Anyway, you know what we should do? We should get into the numbers. Finally, we got the big picture up, right? So the big picture says Ethereum is below 1,800. Bitcoin is below 2,700. It's below 26.5. These are actually, to me, these are just signs that I should be doing something. And I think that Brad Garlinghouse announcement that he's expecting the case to be put to bed within 2 to 6 months, that has them up from 42 cents yesterday to 43 cents now. Doge is doing all right because the only reason why is because Elon Musk said, well, I've got a new CEO that we're negotiating with, and we expect her to start in 6 weeks. That's nice. That's cute. But what does it actually mean? Like, seriously, what does that actually mean? Is she going to come in and she's going to fix Twitter? He's done a lot of stuff, to break Twitter. And my real question is he going to let her do her job? Or is he going to constantly stick his nose in? And I'm thinking she's negotiating for a really fat check. And that fat check is going to say, if Elon does whatever, I still get X, because I think he's going to be a pain in the ass. And it's going to take the strength of a woman to actually work with that guy, in my humble opinion. So I think it's a good choice. She's a strong executive. You'll hear more about her later. I'm not going to get into that. The ultimate reason why I'm bringing it up is because I don't know if I'm going to see anything with Doge. I don't know where she stands on Doge. Sorry about that. I didn't have the actual big picture up for a while. So you can see BTC at 26,405. You can see ETH below 1,800, which is not good. Buying opportunity, in my humble opinion. Matic is down below 85 cents. Wow. Right? These are things that I'm paying attention to because I think these are opportunities. When I look at the list of things, I can see that, okay, year to date, we're not doing as well. We were up as high as 75%, with Bitcoin when it was higher. It's taking a nosedive, but it's still positive for the year. But over the past little while, it has not done well. Something else that has not done well at all has been Polygon, although I'm expecting Polygon to wind up shooting up. I think that's going to be, it's been a sleeper for a little while, but I think it's going to do better. When I look at Solana is not doing well. It's only up 100% for the year. Like I said, I think Solana has good tech, but I think they need to fix a really big problem. I think they really need to fix that problem. And I haven't heard anything in the news about them working on that problem. I think the problem hits and they don't say anything, and eventually it goes away and the price goes up, stitch, and that's it. But I don't hear them working on it. I would like somebody from the Solana community saying, hey, we're working on this. We have a bead on the problem. Something, give me something. I want to be able to leverage Solana. Like, I'll say it out there. I want my companies to be able to leverage Solana. And right now, I still feel uncomfortable doing that. So that's a problem for me. That's a big problem for me. Now, let's go back to this. I told you that, I have a band. I have a green band. You can see it right here. It starts at 31,580 and comes down to 26,475. And guess what? We have broken through that band, because we're lower than 26,475. The next stop on my list would be 25,211. Again, $25,211 for Bitcoin. That is huge, and we're inching closer to it. I thought we would move, continue moving laterally, but we've broken through that floor that I had for 26,475. The next lowest number after 25,211 for me really would be about $20,000, $20,160. That would be, you'd be falling within my blue band down here. And we haven't been there in a really long time. A really, really, really long time. So I'm paying attention to all those kinds of things that are going on right now. DeFi Llama, we dropped $3 billion in 24 hours in total value locked. $3 billion. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of people pulling out. That's a lot of people pulling out from staking. Some places in staking have gone up, but across the board, we've dropped $3 billion. The Fear and Greed Index, we are deep in neutral territory at 49. We were 50 yesterday, and before that at 54. Before that, we were in the 60s. Now we're all the way down at 49. When you see blood in the streets, even if it's your own blood, my rule is to invest. I heard that someplace and I was like, wow, that guy was right. So that's what I do. I'm old enough to have lived through some serious economic downturn in this country. And I've learned, like I said, like I told my kids last night, cash is king in those situations, because they're going to present opportunities straight up. So you're either prepared for an opportunity or you are the opportunity. I'm choosing to be prepared. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto. I hope my research helps you, and I hope it teaches you that you should do your own research too. I hope you do, and I hope we get to compare notes one day. If you have questions, ask, because I like to do research and I like to learn. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto. Have a good one. Bye-bye.